Crash Bandicoot, the huge adventure, called XS in Europe, is amazing. It's the first game that came out on a non-Sony console, and the result is impressive. It's not like the classic, but rather a side-scroller, done right, as the game gives you all the right feels just like the original. The campaign is split into 4 worlds, each having 5 levels. In Crash, Dr. Cortex shrunk the entire world to the size of a grapefruit, and now he literally has the entire world in his hand. As for gameplay, it is smart and varied. You get levels of side-scrolling, boss battles, and some levels where you play from a camera angle similar to the PS1 version. The controls are nice and smooth, and so is the action. The animations are great, and the level designs too are detailed and look nice. The game features over 20 levels and 6 environments, and each level has collectibles and a time trial mode. And via GBA cables you can transfer your save data. Crash Nitro Kart is similar to almost all racing games for GBA, but it has unique stuff that makes it better than other titles. It has a lot of content and the racing mechanics are refined for a better experience. It features 19 different characters and 13 different racetracks. As for game modes, you get single races, time trials, and 4 different cup circuits. The game has 10 different weapons, which you can fire both in front and in the back, and you can also detonate a bomb, for example, if you missed your opponent, and so that hopefully you can catch the opponent in the blast area. The controls are great. You feel in control when doing power slides, and overall the controls are really responsive. And it's nice that by collecting Wumpa fruits, you gain speed, and the more fruits you have, the better weapons you get. As for graphics and level designs, they are awesome. The game, like all GBA racing games, uses the Mode 7 technique, which you can see in the video. But using this technique, it pushes details in the sky, vapor waves, bubbles. It's just incredible what they could do on a GBA. Crash Bandicoot 2 N-Tranced is the sequel to the huge adventure XS in Europe, and the title tells us about the main plot. Dr. Nefarious Tropi now hypnotized the bandicoots into a trance so that he can use them for his evil plans. The game is very similar in gameplay to the previous one as what the game formula is concerned. You get the same type of stuff to do, but with a different plot, different enemies, in a different sort of way, in different locations, so it's a different game. Only the game formula is the same. There are 24 different levels in the game. A nice thing is that you can upgrade any standard abilities into a turbo version of itself, such that you can leap higher, run faster, slide further, and generally reach areas that were otherwise inaccessible to you. As for gameplay, I found it to be pretty difficult in some parts, but aside the hardness of the game, it's fun and smooth, and the controls help a lot by being responsive. For Crash Bandicoot Purple Ripto's Revenge, or Fusion for Europeans, the game company Vivendi Universal had the rights for both Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, two emblematic characters for the PS1 console. So by having rights for both characters, they did a crossover. They made a Spyro game called Spyro Orange, the Cortex Conspiracy, and they did a Crash game, the one I'm talking about in this video. Both have the same plot, but in the Crash game you play from Crash's perspective, and in the Spyro one from Spyro's perspective. And the Spyro one is for the folks that like easier games, the casual gamers, and the Crash game targeted the experienced one, the hardcore gamers. To spice things up, the game developers put minigames during levels, so that aside from the classic side-scrolling, which is nice by the way, you get minigames too, and those are very creative and very fun to play. As for gameplay, it's incredibly varied by the big amount of different minigames you get. Also, graphics are nice and locations are plenty, and pretty detailed. In Crash of the Titans you beat up monsters and take control of them. There are 15 different monsters, each with their unique moves and abilities. The controls are nice, and Crash can do more in this game, like jump kick and get different combo moves and other acrobatic stuff. As for graphics and level designs, they look different, and in my eyes they look different in the bad way. I mean, the game looks like a Java game, judging by the scaling. But even so, the level designs are pretty detailed. Okay, so this was the video. If you liked it, please hit the like button and subscribe. And if you want, follow me on Twitch, Instagram or Discord. You have the links to those accounts in the video description. Thank you.